Hey, it's Jordan with TYT and TYT Network. We're here in the spin room at the Fox Business Debate in Charleston, South Carolina. The undercard debate, aka the Kiddies Table debate, just wrapped. Carly Fiorina, Mike Huckabee, and Rick Santorum were in that debate, and some of them are speaking right now to the media. Earlier, we spoke with a variety of supporters for Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and Jeb Bush. One supporter we spoke to was an 18-year-old student and supporter of Marco Rubio, particularly interested in Senator Rubio because of his support for vocational training. On other things, she didn't know his policies, or when I told her, didn't quite agree.
As a freshman in college, having just graduated high school, I see how a lot of students were struggling, feeling like they're supposed to go to college and it's just the path that's expected of them. But I really appreciate how he thinks that we should be introducing more vocational training back into high schools. I went to Wando High School, which is right in Mount Pleasant, and Wando High School actually started introducing vocational training. We had like an automotives class, we had cosmetology classes, horticulture classes, and I saw a lot of kids make the right decision of, instead of going into college where they would just rack up a lot of student debt, studying something that they don't really care about, they're work ready and they're in the workforce. And so I think it's really important that he's introducing vocational training.
As the sun was going down, the heat started going up. I spoke with a family of Ted Cruz supporters, starting with a father-son duo, and at first they were, soft-spoken, eloquent, and then as soon as I mentioned immigration as well as Islamic terrorism, as they like to call it, voices got higher and faces got angry. This father-son duo, particularly the son, is very, very against what they call Islamic terrorism. They, like many Republicans, rail against President Obama for not calling it that. When I asked what calling it that is going to do specifically, again, didn't really know, just the point of calling them that. Terrorists blowing up buildings, shooting up theaters is part of Islam?
Yes, it is part of Islam. I mean, it's...
Does it say to do that in the Quran?
Well, I don't know if it's...
I don't think it does.
The Quran, it may not say to do it in the Quran, but it is clear that it is part of their religion. They're doing it because of their religion. Until somebody says the problem here is Islam, then the issue's not going to be solved.
I think
it's common sense that you wouldn't let Syrian refugees come in the country.
Why would you not let Syrian refugees in?
A lot of the people that are coming in, they are Muslim people that have ties with terrorism. I'm not saying all of them are, but a lot of them do. My brother is.
Where are you getting that from? I mean, has there been the?
That's where all the people are coming from. That's where all the terrorists are coming from, is over in that region of the world.
I spoke with one woman who was very, very against President Obama. She also said that she believes it was a mistake for the Confederate flag to go down.
I was born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. I believe the Confederate flag stands for our men and women who died. I don't believe it has anything to do with race.
You don't think it has anything to do with race?
I don't. No, I don't.
It does offend a lot of people, whether you agree with it or not.
Well, maybe it does, but I think it's a big misunderstanding. I really do. And I think a museum is great, and I believe if Americans want to fly it, they should be able to, with no question.
Last question, if Cruz didn't win the nomination, would you support Trump, or you wouldn't support a Republican?
I would support a Republican, but I don't think Trump is going to make it. And matter of fact, I know he's not going to make it. But I would vote for a bullfrog before I'd vote for Hillary. She's a liar.
What lie are you referring to?
Benghazi, for one. I mean, shall we name them all? We could be here all night.
We spoke with a Jeb Bush supporter, a 20-something male, kind of like Jeb himself, not very enthusiastic, soft-spoken. He really still believes that Jeb Bush can win the nomination, even though Jeb's at 4%. When I spoke with him about some of Jeff's policies, including the tax cuts that are skewed towards the wealthy, he didn't really have much to say about them. I don't know if it's because he didn't know what they were, or because he didn't want to talk about it. The middle class is struggling. Do you think a plan like that really will do the job?
I'm not sure what numbers, what your different numbers are looking like, but
his plan, over 53% of it goes to the top 1% of earners. That's the Tax Policy Center has that.
Okay, again, I haven't seen that. my understanding of the plan, yeah, we need some tax cuts, help people going. We're going to help put some money back in folks' pockets, let them spend it, stimulate the economy.
So rich folks, do you think rich folks need more money in their pockets?
I think it's going to help everybody. Get people spending again, really drive consumer demand. And you were talking about adding on to the deficit. Well, on the other side of that is cutting spending. We're running ridiculous deficits right now. Obamacare, Bush has said that he has a plan to replace that, because it's not just about repeal, it is about replace. I'm 100% believe in that.
What's his plan to replace it?
I don't know specifics.
We ran into a woman from across the street who we thought was a Muslim American. When we walked up to her, we realized she was actually not Muslim at all, but actually wearing a hijab, which is a Muslim scarf that Muslim women wear over their heads out of solidarity, trying to stick with Muslims, feeling that Republican candidates like Donald Trump are actually crucifying them and discriminating against them. She had a lot to say from a Democratic point of view. She actually works for the Democratic Party here in South Carolina, and said the hate needs to stop.
Yeah, it's just I don't really like the hateful rhetoric and the bigotry and sexism, racism. Like it's just not what Charleston stands for. It's not what South Carolina stands for.
Do you think this kind of hate and bigotry, whatever you want to refer to it to, do you think it kind of powers the ISIS movements of the world?
I definitely do. This shows that we're scared of them, or we're in fear, and it also just when we have people out there saying we hate Muslims and that they're terrorists and stuff, that just makes them want to come over here more and and do harm to us even more. We need to show that we stand with them and that we are there to support them. We're America. We're a melting pot. We are made up of all different races and religion. No need to just seclude one and just say they're all bad people.